On tonight's CTV News, the housing minister is in town, a local girl has a unique way of spending her school holidays, and the government has ruled out compensation for residents who lost their homes in the earthquake. This is CTV News. I'm Grant Mangan. The Housing Minister has criticised the Christchurch City Council for the lack of progress on social housing repairs and rebuilds. Marcus Gibbs reports.
Housing Minister Dr Nick Smith in Christchurch to open another new build for Housing New Zealand. He says the government is on track to meet its deadline to repair 5,000 homes and build 700 new ones by the end of the year. However, the minister wasn't so impressed by the Christchurch City Council's efforts to repair and rebuild its own social housing stock.
I am saying to them that they need to lift their game around their own community housing, that Housing New Zealand and the private sector is ahead of that.
His comments come after City Councillor and Housing Chairman Glenn Livingston told CTV News he wanted to set up temporary accommodation for Christchurch's homeless after a CTV investigation into the problem.
If the City Council has got ideas around emergency housing, then I'm open-minded about that. I would lay the gauntlet down to the Christchurch City Council and to say that the number one priority for them is to get up to pace on repairing their own stock of social housing.
The last time the Christchurch City Council invited media to view the repair and rebuild progress was in May. These 12 sprayed-in units were the first of their new builds to open following the earthquakes. At the time, the Mayor said it marked a significant milestone in the city's rebuild, but the progress isn't fast enough for the minister's liking.
At the moment they are behind both Housing New Zealand and behind the private sector, and the best thing that the City Council can do right now to assist the housing problem is to get stuck in and get their own housing stock into good nick.
The City Council has since announced plans to build more social housing units across Christchurch. Construction is due to begin later this year on 8 new units in Aranui, and an estimated 41 new units will be built elsewhere in the city next year. Speaking from his experience at leading Housing New Zealand's repair program, the minister says it will be a busy time for the council.
And they've got a big job ahead in that regard, and they need to put maximum resources and time into progressing that.
The Christchurch City Council is currently considering its future involvement in social housing. Council staff say its preferred option is aimed at ensuring the financial sustainability of the portfolio. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
The government is on a mission to rebuild homes in the city, starting with a $4 million project in the central city. Emma Cropper has the story.
A new start for this family of 3.
We're actually very rapt. we're really over the moon about it, yeah.
They've felt the full effect of the city's housing crisis. After their home collapsed during the earthquake, they were left living out of a camper van and at friends' houses. Now, thanks to the government, they have a brand new 2-bedroom apartment to shift into.
Since the earthquake, I guess we haven't been happy. We haven't been happy. We've lived in pretty much third-rate houses.
Housing Minister Nick Smith opened 12 of these apartments in the central city, being built on the site of an old backpackers. It's a $4 million project, and a sign the city's rebuild is picking up pace, with more being built each day in the city than ever before.
So 12 homes a day is a phenomenal pace, but it's the pace that is required if we are to restore Christchurch housing as quickly as possible to what it was pre-earthquake.
But the minister believes it won't completely take the pressure off the market. Christchurch's rental market will remain tight until 2018.
I base that on the rate of rebuild and repair that is going on, and also the fact that there is a huge amount of economic activity in Canterbury that's attracting new people, in that we have to not just accommodate those that have been displaced by the earthquakes, but also those new people that are coming into the area to support the infrastructure and housing rebuild.
Housing New Zealand has repaired and replaced more of its stock than the Christchurch City Council and private sector, but believes it will take until 2018 to repair and replace more than 1,200 of its stock lost in the earthquake and cope with the population growth.
The residential construction industry is going to remain incredibly busy over the next year or two as we get through the peak of the rebuild.
There's plans to build even more of these apartments, with contracts signed to build on the neighbouring properties. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Housing Minister Nick Smith visited the recently refurbished social housing units.
95% of Housing New Zealand properties suffered some degree of earthquake damage. In an effort to get repairs done quickly and without disruption, Housing New Zealand actioned an initiative. 14 houses repaired in 7 days. The mission was successful. An army of contractors entered the Aranui properties in June to refurbish the social housing units. Housing Minister Dr Nick Smith congratulates Housing New Zealand on their new approach to repairs. At a time where short-term accommodation is scarce, completing the street all at once is what Dr Nick Smith believes was Housing New Zealand's best foot forward.
It's very disruptive for the tenants having a whole number of tradespeople in their street and the like, and what's been really smart about that initiative, and we'll be doing more of, is actually having the families move out, having the painters, the carpenters, the drapers, the plasterers, all of that work occurring over a tightened time frame.
It's called Project 5000. Dr Nick Smith says their idea to lift the pace and do it over a short period is the best solution. The Aranui tenants are thrilled. One woman the Housing Minister spoke to today is very happy with the changes and says it makes all the difference. Her one-bedroom place was fitted with new carpets, bedroom drapes and a security light. Dr Nick Smith says the repair operation suits the tenants as it's done quickly and to a high standard.
The advantage is that you can get all the work done in a period of 7 days, you minimise the disruption for the families, and we get those homes repaired at a faster pace.
Wanting to see the looming housing crisis fixed, Dr Nick Smith believes if Housing New Zealand continues with their fast-paced repair scheme through Christchurch, the results will see the deadline met.
We've got the blowtorch on Housing New Zealand to have them completed by the end of 2015. That means they're going to have to increase the pace. I'm seeing good evidence of that increased pace, and that encourages me in terms of being able to meet that very important target of Housing New Zealand having its stock back to pre-earthquake levels by the end of next year.
Housing New Zealand's General Manager of the Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Program, Paul Commons, says although contractors worked hard to the deadline, no shortcuts were made with the quality. Joelle Batista, CTV News.
The government has ruled out any compensation for the Kate Shepherd Retirement Village residents who lost their homes to earthquake damage. Management of the village kept part of their payout as a management fee, and a select committee has decided there is nothing else to do.
This is all that's left of Ian's former home. Demolition teams are knocking down the last of his neighbours' houses, nearly 3.5 years on since the February 2011 earthquake. The retiree lived here at Christchurch's Kate Shepherd Retirement Village for 3 years before the earthquakes hit. He's now living in a new home, but he's $90,000 out of pocket.
These other people, they are still struggling to find a lifestyle that they had, and they won't get it.
Under a 2008 Code of Practice, some people lost up to 30% of the price they paid for their units after the earthquakes. The money they lost going to management. A parliamentary select committee has decided the residents were paid out what they were entitled to under their contracts.
The first thing I'd say that I'm disappointed because it took a long time to get to this decision, so that it's disappointing that it's taken so long to find out that it's not going to happen.
That Code of Practice has since been updated. Retirement villages will no longer be able to take a cut when paying out occupants of units damaged or destroyed by natural disasters. However, this law change has come too late for many elderly unit owners left out of pocket after the quakes.
To go to court about it would take money, and it would take years, and you might not win. So most people were so far down financially they couldn't afford to do that.
Ian has been liaising with Grey Power over the issue. The hardest thing has been tracking down the elderly who have since moved away. Out of the 150 unit holders, just 17 had email addresses at the time of the earthquakes.
They're all over New Zealand from the Bluff to Northland, and we just can't keep that up.
The battle for compensation has been long and hard, and 78-year-old Ian is considering pulling out of the fight.
There's a limit to the resources we've got, and there's a limit to keeping up with the people, but also there's a limit on your brain power as you get older too, just coping with it.
The longer the fight drags on, the harder it will be for Ian and his friends to keep going. They're still holding out hope they will be compensated for their losses. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Coming up, the Christchurch City Council fights for its consents.
Tomorrow Today is your science program, presenting a comprehensive overview of the latest trends in science and research. Tomorrow Today, Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m, right here on CTV.
Hi, I'm Steve and welcome to Carpet Kingdom. At Carpet Kingdom we stock a massive range of carpets and we're also the largest vinyl stockist in the South Island. And not only do we have an excellent range in store, but you can purchase our stock online. We offer free measuring quotes, we have our own installation team, we ship nationwide, so come on down and see us at Carpet Kingdom, 312 Wilsons Road in Waltham, just off Brougham Street, or visit us online at carpetkingdom.co.nz.
Welcome to Caltex Redwood. We're a family-owned business proudly supporting our local community. We're open 24/7 for fuel and shop goods, and we have an amazing team of people ready to help you. Save at least 6 cents per litre using AA Smart Fuel cards. We also offer great value on our LPG bottle fills. We have a full workshop and Bridgestone Tyre Centre. Our mechanics and tyre technicians will get your car sorted. Caltex Redwood. We're just down from St Bede's on Main North Road. Caltex Redwood. What drives you?
Come in and meet the locals at the Bush Inn Centre. Whether it's to grab a coffee on the go or to catch up with a friend over lunch or dinner, the Bush Inn Centre is the perfect place. With our unique range of shops, you'll find everything you're looking for and more. Our friendly locals are always happy to help. We have plenty of parking at the Bush Inn Centre, making your shopping experience just a little bit easier. So come in, meet the locals and shop Bush Inn. You'll find us on the corner of Riccarton and Waimarie Roads. Do you wear an earpiece or earmuffs? Do you have trouble hearing people or the TV? Do you suffer from itchy ears? Then it's time to clear the ear. Their gentle microsuction technique is safe and efficient and performed by a fully qualified, trained, registered nurse. Call for an appointment or Clear the Ear can come to you. We also have swim, noise or aeroplane plugs. 0800 Ear Clean. We were in behind the Rose and Thistle but have now moved opposite St Andrews College, 304 Papanui Road.
Wild Spirits covers the biggest, most extreme sports events across the planet. From surfing to base jumping, snowboarding to motocross, this series will sure to have you on the edge of your seat. Wild Spirits, Wednesday nights at 7, CTV.
The Christchurch City Council could be steps closer to earning back its accreditation to hand out consents.
The Christchurch City Council was stripped of its accreditation over a year ago. Today, the largest team of IANZ assessors ever assembled in New Zealand will tackle the council's department, identifying areas needing attention over the next 2 weeks. The council lost accreditation after failing to tackle huge delays in issuing consents. At the end of 2012, IANZ identified 17 key areas of concern with the council's processes, followed by a formal notice in May 2013 and the loss of accreditation in July. It hasn't prevented the council issuing consents, but it will need to regain it before its licence comes up for renewal next year. The Building Control and City Rebuild Director believes the council is in the best possible position to reapply for accreditation. Currently 80% of consents are being processed within the statutory timeline.
The Labour Party is promising to bring New Zealand schools into the 21st century.
During Labour's 2014 election congress, leader David Cunliffe announced plans to modernise New Zealand schools by closing the digital divide. His plan is for all students from years 5 to 13 to have access to a portable computer in their classroom and their home. The scheme will cost $25 million to set up portable computers in the classrooms, and families will be able to pay just $3.50 a week for new and insured digital devices that they will get to keep. Labour's aim is to make every school fit for the 21st century by 2030. So what do Cantabrians think about the plan?
A lot of children are expected to pay for them anyway, so if they're giving them out free, that's going to take the pressure off parents.
Well, having bought the grandchildren iPads for their school, I think it'd be nice to get some sort of subsidy into it. Yes, I think it would be good for that, yeah. And I think it is a technology which is coming through more and more.
Fantastic resource, I've got to say, but I don't understand his promises at all. Everything seems to be just off the cuff as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, pretty much, I think, yeah. I think we're going to get with the times now, you know.
Pen and paper, definitely, because I think there's too many little game things, and I reckon children in the future are going to have a lot of trouble with their hands with RSI, and I don't think it's really good for their brain development. That I think pen and paper is a far better way of going.
Well, in some ways I think they're good, in some ways I don't. Like, it gives internet, like you can take them around to different classes, like you wouldn't have to have just certain areas that you could do it, but yeah, then like with the like handwriting and all that, you wouldn't, there's no way, like you're not going to get any better.
Do you get iPads at school?
Yeah.
Do you like them?
Yeah.
Oh, he's done pretty well at school, so go with iPads, I say.
Skirt are asking Sumner and Redcliffe's residents to avoid flushing their loos. Tomorrow night from 10 p.m. until 4 a.m. the area will be a no-flush zone. Fulton Hogan are doing a major reconnection of wastewater pipes. It'll take 3 hours to complete, with work starting after midnight. Skirt say the less wastewater in the pipes, the better for the crew tasked with the job, as you can well imagine. A Selwyn District Council contractor has won a major award for its sewage system.
MWH New Zealand Limited has won a Top Institute of Public Works Engineering Australasia award for its project. The award recognises engineering excellence in infrastructure projects completed in New Zealand over the last 2 years. The project involved designing and constructing the Selwyn District Council's Eastern Sewage Scheme at Rolleston.
The raw wastewater, once you've flushed the toilet, is conveyed in pipelines and through pump stations and ends up here at the wastewater treatment plant. In the bioreactors, which is the heart of the wastewater treatment plant, purification takes place. What you see here is the bioreactor, which contains millions of bacteria, and part of this biomass, which is generated every day, needs to be wasted.
The new facility has saved the Selwyn District Council millions of dollars in its unique way of handling and disposing of sludge.
In the drying hall, biosolids from the centrifuge are spread, turned and moved by the sludge manager, which is a pre-programmed system which moves across and down the hall to spread and to turn the solids.
And a New Zealand first, a solar air drying hall was designed to massively reduce the sludge needing to be disposed off-site. 70% of the water in the sludge is evaporated.
Previously, they carted away liquid solids at 40 to 60 cubic meters a day. Now the solids have been in this hall for about 8 months, and they're only starting to remove some of the dried solids now.
Current predictions is over $500,000 a year in savings.
The scheme was rapidly expanded in size following the Canterbury earthquakes and the migration of Christchurch residents to the Selwyn district.
This came about really to cater for our massive growth.
The sewage scheme should be able to handle the district's growing population over the decades to come. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
A young girl is spending her holidays volunteering at the local dog park.
A popular place to play and run, the Rolleston Dog Park is an open space for dogs and their owners to socialise. For the school holidays, 11-year-old Isabella Howe will spend her time off helping others, and in this case, our four-legged friends. Steve Clark, Selwyn District Council's Senior Animal Control Officer, says they're excited to have Isabella as the first junior dog park ranger.
Isabella will be fantastic in this role. She's been involved in our Dog Smart program in the Whedon School, so she knows all about dogs. She's got a good, friendly attitude, so we think she'll be ideal.
Selwyn's Animal Control say one of the hardest problems at the dog park is reminding the owners to clean up after their dog's mess. Steve Clark says Isabella will remind owners of their responsibilities and double check they have the tools required.
So she's going to remind people to make sure they've got their doggy do bags. She'll also remind them it's registration time and that it's the dogs need to be registered by the end of the month. And if anyone's got any questions, she'll be able to direct them to the right place to have those questions answered.
Isabella is excited to get in and meet more of the neighbourhood dogs. A keen animal lover herself, her pet dog is a collie spaniel cross named Ollie. Isabella says she loves her dog and brings him to the park twice a week. Hoping to be a vet one day, she believes this work experience will prepare her for the future.
I want to be able to learn more about dogs.
Spending more time around the four-legged animals is one thing this 11-year-old loves to do.
Just being around animals all the time.
Isabella's mum, Emma Howe, is very supportive of her daughter. Since Isabella is under 18, Emma Howe will be down at the park helping out too.
In the holidays we'll be down here every day pretty much. We normally come once a week.
Isabella's mum loves the dog park and she says it's about having a place for the dogs to run about freely while the local owners socialise.
Just the socialising with all the dogs. We're hoping that our dog may learn some manners from interacting with others, aren't we? Mm-hmm. Hasn't happened yet.
Emma Howe says she's immensely proud of her young daughter's achievements and believes the volunteering will help her later on in life.
I think it's great. I think it's fabulous. She needs to build confidence in her own abilities.
Letting her daughter off the leash and into new opportunity, Emma Howe says she'll make sure not to get in the way of Isabella's learning on the job.
I'll be just wandering around and supervising really. I won't be right up in her face or anything. She needs to be doing this independently.
Joelle Batista, CTV News.
Well, that's a wee reminder to me that I really should spend some more time with my dogs and not just throwing things out the door and saying, go fetch. Well, still to come, your weather and traffic update.
The world has a great deal to tell. Journalists from across the world report on their home nations and the experiences of the people who live there. World Stories.
Get rid of that damaging and unsightly moss, mould and lichen from your path, drive or roof with Mossbuster. Mossbuster is a no-bleach, non-abrasive, biodegradable solution that has over 35 years of proven results. Mossbuster costs less than half the price of other well-known products and can be yours for less than $1 a litre. You just spray it on and let Mother Nature do the rest. Check out our website to find the best solution to your moss, mould and grime problem. Order online or call us now on 0800 88 1000.
Christchurch has its very own enchanted utopia, the Hitching Post. Pop in and see for yourself. A magical assortment of handmade creations, custom-made candles and artwork. Choose from our huge range of water features, garden art and imported giftware. Specialists in handcrafted metal artwork made in store. Nestled on 722 Marshlands Road, the Hitching Post, defining art our way.
Are you looking for more from your local channel? CTV are online. Our latest listings, on-demand shows, program information, all on the CTV website. We'll see you there.
Meet the latest arrivals at Berlin's 2 animal parks and find out what it takes to be a zoo baby in a modern zoo. Zoo Juniors. Wednesday nights at 8 p.m, right here on CTV.
You can avoid tomorrow's traffic jams with tonight's traffic update.
Hello travellers, to help you plan your journey around the central city, here's a few tips. Good news, Park Terrace has now reopened to two-way traffic between Kilmore and Armagh Streets. A reminder that Gloucester Street between Colombo and Manchester is one-way eastbound. And Armagh Street is one-way westbound between Colombo and Manchester Streets. The new Regent Street shops are still accessible from both roads. To keep up to date on what's happening with the Central City roads, keep watching CTV News first at 5, and as always, check out the Transport for Christchurch website.
And remember that Transport for Christchurch website has a lot of information, not just about roadworks in the central city, but also roadworks taking place right around the greater Christchurch area. Finally tonight then, your regional weather.
Good evening, Canterbury. Here's your region's weather. Looking at Timaru, 9 degrees, and Geraldine and Temuka, 8. Methven, Ashburton and Rakaia hit 8 today, along with Darfield. Ralston, Lincoln and Leeston were slightly warmer this Tuesday on 9. Looking at the region's Garden City, Christchurch 9 degrees, and over in Akaroa 8 degrees. Heading to North Canterbury, Rangiora, Kaipoi and Amberley hit 9. Further north in Culverden, Hanmer Springs and Cheviot 8 degrees, as well as Kaikoura up the top 8 degrees. Now taking a look at what's in store for tomorrow. In Timaru, more cloud and cold northeasterly winds for your Wednesday, hitting a low of 5 overnight and a high of 9 during the day. In Ashburton, heavy cloud and chilly winds in mid-Canterbury. A low of 5 overnight, but expect to hit 9 during the day. In Christchurch, another day of low cloud and bracing northeasterly breezes in store. You'll hit 10 throughout the day, but an overnight low of 5. And Kaikoura, gusty northeasterlies and plenty of cloud about in Kaikoura. Tonight's low 5, tomorrow's high 9 degrees. And of course the other areas around the region. Temuka and Geraldine cloudy with a high of 9 and a low of 5. Methven and Rakaia expect cloud all day and a high of 9 degrees. That's the same for Darfield and Leeston, a high of 9 and overnight low of 5. For Akaroa, a low of 5 and a high of 9 degrees. In the Waimakariri district, Rangiora and Kaipoi, cloudy for most parts of the day with a high of 9 and low of 5. And at the top, Culverden, Hanmer Springs and Cheviot will hit a high of 9 with cloud all day. And looking ahead for Canterbury, mostly dry with high cloud on Thursday. Fresh gusty cool northeasterly winds, mostly cloudy on Friday with some rain at times and fresh gusty cool northeasterlies continuing. Winds easing out and tending mild and northwesterly on Saturday, weather remaining mostly fine with some high cloud. Fine and mild on Sunday with sunny periods at first, but high cloud increasing during the day and moderate northwesterly winds. Cold southwesterlies and some rain developing at night, expect snow to 500 metres. And rain clearing during the day on Monday, with fresh cold southwesterly winds decreasing. And that's all for your region's weather. Do enjoy what's left of your Tuesday.
And that's CTV News for Tuesday. I'm Grant Mangan. Good night.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.